Do people take me serious? Should I be taking myself serious? Am I crazy? Um, and I guess maybe the answer is like yes, maybe they do. Um, but even if they don't, I should. I should take myself serious. If I really believe in this, which I do, I need to I need to go hard. I need to go crazy about it, and I need to obsess over it to a healthy degree.
How long did it
And
take you to realize you needed to, or at least wanted to go to therapy?
definitely,
Oh, so it's almost like this part right now
Talking
too.
about in Romans, live your bodies as living
hmm
sacrifices, holy and acceptable unto the Lord.
What
So
type of granddad, grandpa, pawpaw, as Dom calls you, do you want to be,
Do
or
you
do
whip
you?
your kids?
yeah,
You
man.
don't need
So
people to feel bad for you. You need them to show empathy, and that's not something that most people can do.
welcome to another episode of the Mad Black Dad podcast. I am Mad Black Dad. Um, I'm still finding my voice. Like I think it's weird. Um, I know I don't want to be like loud and boisterous. I think because right now it's just me, so there's no point in me like yelling and trying to be all crazy. Um, but I don't want to sound like this is ASMR that I'm like whispering or anything. It's super weird, but I'm still finding it. You'd think I would have had it by now, just I guess with how many episodes I guess I've recorded to this point. But playing it back is still just a little weird. Still a little weird to hear my voice back. And also like editing and trying to change stuff like that. So it's super interesting. I got a couple things on the slate today. Uh, I'm excited to share. But first things first, let's see, what do we have? Uh, I want to bring more dads on the podcast. Um, Single dads, dads that are co-parenting, uh, dads, married dads. I think that's important still. I want to talk about dads that work in specific professions or any profession really, but how do they relate that back to being a dad? Like, is there something that goes on with that, or that you're trying to instill in your children, or is your job just your job? I want to talk to dads about what their dad skill is. I want to talk to dads about you know all of that stuff. Um, but I've been doing these episodes by myself and with Dom the past, couple ones, and I'm ready to branch back out and get more dads to come in. I'm really big on building community, and having me talk and me sharing my stories, my thoughts. I think is great. But one of the main reasons for having this platform or creating this platform is that so that other men and other dads can also share their stories, because this platform is big enough for all of us. So that's really what I want to do. I have a couple people in mind already. I have a couple moonshot ideas, dads that I would really love to come on. So I'm gonna put all that energy out there. I'm also gonna be creating like an infographic or a flyer of sorts, and I'll be sending those out as invitations. So I'm really excited to put that out there. Um, some are just gonna be like a simple Instagram post or whatever, but some are gonna be, sent to specific people, because I do want other guys to get in here and be able to share their stories, because that's important. It's really important for us to share our stories, and share our experiences, because we never know who has a shared experience with us, who knows what anybody else is going through, and we'll never know these things until we share them. So please start looking out for that soon. I don't really put like specific dates on these too much. Just in case, no matter when you're listening, you can know that you can kind of look for that. So that's something that we have going on. Um, I'm gonna get into streaming. Streaming maybe on Twitch, maybe on YouTube. I don't know how much I'm gonna do it, for sure. But it's something that I want to do. I feel really passionate about that. So it would be somewhat of like a live stream of a podcast of sorts. And for me, that would really look like how would that look? I would go live, right, and the episodes would be kind of formatted extremely similarly. Only difference is, I'll probably be playing a video game of sorts. Um, and I came to this intersection where I want to include this as part of content because gaming not only is it's my thing. I love the game, and it's a really cool pastime for me. But it's also a point of mental health. It's just a small pocket where I can clear my head for maybe about an hour or so, maybe two. And it's also fun, but it's challenging, and there's puzzles and all the stuff that comes with gaming. So um, I'm going to share that aspect of it because there can be, when used properly and appropriately, a mental health aspect about gaming. So I'm going to start sharing that and sharing stats and information around that as not necessarily as a form of therapy, although it can be, but just as a way of stress relief, a way to practice strategizing, practice coordinating your thoughts, and planning ahead. Much like chess, much like journaling and plotting out things. So you kind of get these skill sets, and they're just transferable in a couple different ways. And we're going to explore that while I'm live. We'll explore that in on these pods as well, but something that we'll do while I'm live. And hopefully, we'll have some of the people I might play with might jump in. There will probably be some jokes, maybe some, foul language, but it's all in a wholesome attempt to foster positive relationships, positive community, um, and just a space for growth. So that's what we're gonna do, or we as in me will be doing. I don't know when that's gonna start, but that's gonna be starting relatively soon. So you'll see things like that. You'll see highlights. I'll clip and put them on my Instagram and things like that. Pivotal points of conversations and things like that. No different than what we already have here. So it's just expanding to an additional medium um, for me to continue building community, continue sharing my story, continue building this platform for everyone to um, you know share. So, with that said, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Dionne is turning two, y'all. Um, I don't know if you like just started listening or you've been around or have known me for some time. But Dionne is two, and y'all, she is growing so fast. It's really hard sometimes to really process how fast your kids grow, and then it's just boom, it's there. I sometimes it feels just like yesterday when she had to sleep under this blue light in the hospital because she had bilirubin, and the things that you didn't know and then you just had to like quickly pick up on. Um, like I've never even heard of that in my life, but she had to sleep under, which essentially looked like a blue light, almost like a UV light, to so she could get these nutrients in her body that she just didn't have when she was born. Um, Such a scary and such a confusing process. Um, but now she's here, and for anybody that has seen Dion, you would never know that there's any type of complications with this girl. She is up, she is fun, she is active, she is vibrant, she is beautiful, um, and she's gonna give anybody a run for their money if they let her. Uh, very strong-willed. She's determined to get things done, whatever it may be, and it's not so much you could do being two, but if she can figure it out, she gonna do it. So it's such an exciting thing to just see her grow, and these words they're stringing together in ways that we just not expecting. So in a couple days she'll be two, and it's so exciting. We're gonna take her to see what is that thing called? It was crazy because she didn't really watch the show. We still think it might be fun for her to go see. Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig. Um, It's like a Peppa Pig exhibit that we're gonna go see. I think she'll like it. Just there's a lot of stuff her age. And because Dom, we cannot ever leave Dom out, and we would never leave Dom out. He also is gonna get a trip to Legoland. Um, so we're gonna show him that, take him there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, just like a little weekend trip, just to get away, celebrate Dion's birthday, but also to, we're gonna get out the house. We're gonna have some fun. I'm so excited for it. Dom is super excited for it. He keeps talking about it. Well, when are we gonna go? And what are we gonna bring? And how are we gonna stay? And Dom has been on some trips, so he's down to ride. Which I think is really cool. And it's not really a long trip for us to get down and back, so that's really cool too. And we're gonna go. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. Um, Dom is at this point now. We are trying to get him to ride a bike. Last year was unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. I mean, we got out there one day, y'all, and he cried real tears. You would thought that I had whooped him the way he was crying. It was almost embarrassing because we're riding down the street, and again, we are actually riding. He had his little training wheels on. He's pedaling. Like, he doesn't need my help. He didn't, because he had the training wheels on, we weren't worried about balance, none of that. He's pedaling, fully riding the bike and crying. Get your nephew, because it didn't make any sense, and to this day it don't make no sense. Like, why were you crying like that? You weren't gonna fall. You couldn't fall. You just didn't want to pedal, and you didn't want to ride your bike. So it was a mess. But that was last year. Fast forward to this year. Matter of fact, fast forward all the way to the eclipse. We were in a path of totality, and it was a really nice day. The sun was out, of course, and it was nice and warm. So we're like, you know what? While we're waiting for this eclipse thing to start, let's go ahead and get up on this bike. He got on the bike, y'all. We had his granddad had already taken one training wheel off, so now he a little shaky. Now he know that he could really fall. But we got out there and we went all the way up and down the street. Since everybody was outside, like, ooh, they was cheering him on. You can do it. You can do it. And he was moping. He wasn't crying, but he was definitely moping. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh. Sir, stop playing. But the people were encouraging, and it's older Black people are gifts from God, the good ones, the nice ones, because not all, but just the people. Some of these people are clearly somebody's grandma, somebody's grandpa, somebody, older uncle. And they was just as happy as can be. I think it's something about older generations. They like to see kids outside doing outside things, like normal kid things. It's just like it brings them joy or something like that. I always think about granddad. He's like, kids just don't be outside no more. They don't even go outside and play no more. They don't ride bikes. I don't never see kids ride no bikes. Mind you, these kids they still ride bikes. They still be outside. Problem is, ain't nothing for them to do outside. So, what they be out there doing be, sometimes it be trouble. But, all the things we had growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s, a lot of that stuff is gone away, or there's not as much of it as it used to be. So, I think older people love to see when kids are outside doing kid stuff. So, they were cheering Dom on. Um, Although he was terrified of falling. Still pedaling. Still pedaling. But now he just don't have that balance down. So every time that sun is out, you can bet that we're gonna be outside trying to ride this bike. He got lucky today. Today it was nice and warm. It was good and warm outside, but I wasn't ready to go outside. So he got off the hook today, but next time it's warm, he gonna be outside. Don't you even worry about it. So it's I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I love it. Again, going back to seeing kids grow up and all of that. But y'all, since we were talking about this, how did y'all get y'all kids to like ride their bike? Do y'all kids ride bikes? I really hope so. Um, yeah, but shoot me some tips. Shoot me some tips. How did y'all get y'all kid to ride their bike? How'd y'all get your kid to get over that fear of falling or getting that balance together? Because it could be me. It could be me. I just might not be the best teacher. Seeing that I am an educator and it should be my jam, but I think it's a little different because he my son. So I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the mark. Maybe I'm missing the mark, and I'm not a good teacher for him, and he gonna need like his own teacher separate from me. You know, because the way okay, well, we're gonna take that trainer wheel off. You're gonna go, and if you think you about to fall, you just have to jump off your bike. And scars be damned, because excuse me, because I wasn't wearing a helmet. Uh, Definitely wasn't wearing no elbow pads or knee pads or nothing like that. If you fall, you fall. You dust yourself off, you get up. If you got a cut, you get a band-aid. Keep it moving. You know. Um, So yeah, send me some tips. Send me some tips. DM me. Comment under one of these, wherever you see this video, YouTube probably. Comment like, how'd you get your kid to balance around their bike? Shoot me a link. Give me something, because he turned 7 in June. It's clearly April. He gonna be riding this bike before that 7th birthday. I don't know how, but he gonna be riding this bike before that 7th birthday. Maybe I need to get me a bike so we can get out there and figure it out at the same time. Granted, I know how to ride a bike, but if he could see me ride a bike, maybe that'll make him, feel a little bit more confident. Like, hey, if he could do it, maybe I could do it. Because it's not like he has anybody to like ride with. So, you know, the kids in this neighborhood, one, there aren't too many his age, and two, some people just don't be coming outside. And three, sometimes the neighborhood get a little funny acting where I don't necessarily want to have him outside. So we will be riding, at a nearby park or something, but the boy needs to know how to ride his bike. And he gonna figure it out before that birthday. And that's all I know. That is all I know. So yeah. I am I told y'all that I was working on this devotional. Uh, let's take a break. Mhm. Um, I told y'all that I was working on this devotional. Um, I think I'm up to like 15 or 16 chapters, that is. I don't even call them chapters, but um, I'm just gonna call it days, even though I've missed a couple of days, so it's not like 16 consecutive days, but this would be like day 16. Um, but I'm gonna cover day 13. I'm not gonna read the passages or anything like that. Because this one, I think it got a little churchy, or Christian religiously. And that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. But I know that everybody that follows or that listens may not necessarily, get into that, and that's okay. Um, Everything is like switching out Jesus for whatever deity you want to use, or just call it the universe, or things like that. And all that is fine. Um, um, but this one, the first two questions, I just thought were interesting, and I kind of wanted to share the questions, not so much my answers. Um, but definitely the questions. Um, so the first one is, what are your dreams? And it's not like, of course, the literal dreams, like, oh, I went to sleep and I thought about that and I'm back. But your dreams or your goals or your aspirations, like, what are they? List them out, write them out, talk about them. And I guess I'm asking you this question as well. Like, what are your dreams? And, you think about it, you write it down. Uh, I'll share, some of mine. Is that I want, this content, this podcast, and the community that I'm trying to build, or that I am building. I want it to be something large, something fruitful, um, not just like monetary. Because yes, sure, I do want to, potentially generate income from this, and it's no longer just a passion project. Um, but I would also love to see this grow into something that, it's like almost institutional. Because I see the need for community for dads. Not that there isn't any, but more would never hurt. So I want this to grow into something that's really fruitful and beneficial for um, hundreds of thousands of people. I want people to, really be touched by this, and really want to, join with me and do this work of being a dad, educating other dads, and sharing space, um, and experiences. So I really want that. And as you think about, or maybe you've already written down what your dream is or your dreams are, um, the follow up question is, what has kept you from pursuing them? And the way that this devotional kind of works out is that, of course, you're doing it, in order, one day at a time, but then you start to see like there's probably going to be themes in your responses. Like, oh, okay, this question is similar to that question from like 2 days ago. Um, and my answer, of course, is like similar to that. And then as you, get through, like I said, I'm 2 weeks in now. I'm like, oh, there's a real theme here. And as you reflect and see where you are or what you've written, it's like, yeah, this is making a lot of sense. So what has kept you from pursuing your dreams? This is that moment of, transparency for me. Um, and it's two things. It's two things. It's well, no, it's three things. It's three things. One is fear. Fear. Um, I know that I have like a thing. I think this is a great platform. It's my personal belief. Give me like a thumbs up or something in the comments if you also think it's a if you also think it's a great concept and platform. Um, but it's like a little bit of an imposter syndrome in that. It's like, damn, like, can I really do this? Am I good enough to do this? Uh, am I taking myself serious? Will other people take me serious? And these are the things that rack my brain. And sometimes it gets to the point where it's like stifling and I'm just not doing anything. Where I could have been working on this for 2, 3 days, not just a podcast, but some of the other things that I'm working on or that I believe in. It's like, shit, I didn't do anything. Um, and that fear has stifled me in so many ways. Maybe that's why I haven't recorded as many episodes as I could have. Maybe that's why I haven't started certain programs, or maybe that's why I haven't had as many of the for dads only meetings as I would have liked. Just like fear, like, damn, do people take me serious? Should I be taking myself serious? Am I crazy? Um, and I guess maybe the answer is like yes, maybe they do. Um, but even if they don't, I should. I should take myself serious. If I really believe in this, which I do, I need to I need to go hard. I need to go crazy about it, and I need to obsess over it to a healthy degree, and chase this dream. I have to do it because if I don't, what the fuck, right? What's the point of dreaming if I'm not going to chase it? Um, and then that's the first thing. That's the first thing that's holding me up. The second thing that's holding me up is pride. Hey, listen, y'all. I don't know about y'all. I am not a huge fan of asking for help. I'm not. I'm stubborn. I'm hard headed. Well, let me double back. I can be stubborn. I can be hard headed. I can be indignant. I can be arrogant. And so sometimes those feelings have jammed me up. Those feelings have blocked me from receiving something that I could have received in the moment. Um, and I gotta, it takes work, it takes time. I gotta be serious about it, but I gotta get off my high horse or get my head out of my own ass or get out of my own way. If I really want to receive what God or Allah or the universe or whoever you want to believe in, it has for me. Because you know that if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. But on the other end, you actually got to be open to receiving it because it's gonna come around, it's gonna come around, it's gonna come around, and eventually it's not gonna come around anymore. And I don't ever want to get myself into the position because I was too blinded by my own pride to miss what was coming to me, or because I don't want to, talk about my needs or talk about, my dreams or aspirations with other people because I'm so proud, I'm so prideful that I've basically, screwed myself out of something. And I could have screwed myself out of something multiple times because the universe kept knocking on my door saying, "This is for you, this is for you," and I'm, acting foolish, and I didn't receive it. So pride in my way. That's the second thing. And the third thing, discipline. Discipline. I talk about discipline so much. I think discipline is probably I've said it before. I think, a man that is able to master discipline, um, he can do anything. A disciplined man is a powerful man. And it's not to say that other things doesn't make him powerful. But if you have discipline, like real discipline, man, that 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 is a game changer for a man. Um, because he knows and he is able to, actualize the fact that if he keeps his nose to the grindstone, if he keeps doing what he's supposed to do in certain ways, something's going to pop. Something's going to pop. Or or let's say it doesn't pop, but because he's been so disciplined, he could say, "All right, it's time to make this pivot." Like I've done this so many times, so many ways. Um, because I've been disciplined, I've been trying again and trying again and trying again. He will know to like, all right, I've done this 5 different ways. It's time to pivot, and this closed door doesn't mean it's a no. Period. It means it's just this wasn't for me, and I now need to change my focus in some way, shape, or form. And as he changes his focus on that new path, that discipline is always going to be there. Um, and that's been my thing. Like I struggle with that sometimes. I get a little momentum, and then I'm quick to pivot. Nothing has told me or shown me that I needed to pivot. I just pivot, um, or I stop because of the fear, because of the pride. I just like, well, nope, that's it. Um, and I feel like I'm in this season uh, where it is time to become disciplined. Um, And yeah, that's a process. It's not like a light switch, like boop. It doesn't work like that, and I get that. But now is the time. This is my season where I do the things to become disciplined, and then when I come out of this season and I'm going into whatever the next season is, I will be prepared for whatever is to come next season. So yeah, this for me is the season of discipline. Um, and I'm putting this on wax, so y'all gotta hold me to that. Um, and that's just that's what it's gonna be. That's what it has to be. Because if it's not, I'm not able to do that. I'll never see the fruits of my labor. Um, I'll never achieve any of my dreams or my goals, and I'll be looking back like, damn, it's another thing that could have been, or it's something I should have did. And I don't want to. I don't want that to be me. I just don't want that to be me. So I gotta do it. I think I like this setup. I don't like the lighting so much, but general setup is pretty cool. Let's keep this mic out of my face though. Let's scroll down. All right. I think everybody's kind of covered this J. Cole beef. Um, and I think a rap aside, right? I don't want to talk about the rap part. I'm not. We're not getting into the music of it all. We're not even talking about his song specifically. And past all of that, I really want to cover the apology.
And I was conflicted because one, I know my heart, you know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers, these two niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase their greatness, right? So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood. Jab my nigga back, and I try to keep it friendly, but at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace. So what I want to say right here tonight is in the midst of me doing that and in that shit, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking. So I just want to come up here and be like, publicly be like, bruh, that was the lamest, like goofiest shit. And I say all that to say, it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, all good. Like, it's love.
Here's my thing. Again, rap aside, J. Cole was brave. Brave. Because he's touted himself as like a student of the game. He understands rap. He knows what all of this stuff means. He knows that he's been on all of these songs talking about how he is the best rapper alive. And, he feels he is the greatest. He's top three, top five, top one, top whatever. Right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. Okay, so like we got that. And with that, he also knows what the rap game is. So the beef stars, blah 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 blah. Now it's your chance to back all this up. He's been talking about you the best. Here we go. It's time to scrap. Drops a song, goes to his own festival, and apologizes. And I don't know. People talk about his career is over, but I don't think his career is over. I think J. Cole fans are going to still be J. Cole fans. I think if you was riding with him this long, I think for the most part, you don't have to really worry about his name being besmirched or smudged, a stain on his jacket, something on his record. I think that stuff won't matter to like true fans that are riding with it. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Um, but he got up on stage at his festival in front of I don't know how many thousands, tens of thousands of fans, and anybody that watched it on whatever it was live streamed on. Um, and he apologized. And I think that as a man, as men, as black men, um, there should be and there needs to be space for you to be able to have an opinion or a feeling, and you get out there and you stand on that opinion. And then after whatever, level of clarity you reach, you have to walk, you feel in your heart that you have to walk that back. There should be space for you to walk that back. And it wasn't even so much of a change of mind more than it was like it was a change of heart. His heart wasn't in it. And I don't believe that as a man he is any softer or any harder for um apologizing, for taking this down, for saying like, I put something out, and essentially he said he succumbed to peer pressure. The fans was out here wanting some, his team was wanting some, his friends was wanting some, his boys was wanting some. Like everybody wanted him to respond, and he got peer pressured into it. And he said it didn't sit well with his spirit. And I think that men should be able to say, my spirit doesn't like that, or I don't want to move like that. Um, Ideally, it's great if you could, get out there and do it beforehand and just say, hey, look, my spirit, my heart is not in this place to do this on the front end, right? But everybody don't always get there. Sometimes we do succumb to peer pressure. I think it's human. Um, but men need to be able to walk it back. Men need to be able to apologize. And he said, Kendrick could put his best shot out there, and he not gonna respond, right? It takes a lot to do that because who knows what Kendrick gonna, if Kendrick even says anything back, right? Who knows what Kendrick gonna say? Who knows what? And clearly, this thing has kind of like spilled over into everybody else. Like, who knows who else is gonna like try to take a shot at him? Um, but damn, like that's a balls. That's a guts. Like real courage to stand up in front of everybody that loves and adores you and say that you you want to back down. You want to back down, you want to back out. But he's doing it. He's not, I don't think he's tucking his tail between his legs. Um I just think that he's standing 10 toes down. I did a thing, didn't really want to do that thing, and I wasn't strong enough in that moment to not do it. But now that we're here, I need to let y'all know I didn't want to do it, and I'm not gonna do it anymore. And I think that's powerful in a way because it's like you didn't even have to do all that, uh, and you did. He could have just like he released a song. He could have sat at home and said, "Man, that didn't sit well in my spirit. All right, I'm gonna just keep going though." Like he could have ignored it. He could have like fed deeper into it. Um, just kind of let things go left. But like he stood up, he put his foot down, and, I don't think, of course, not, I don't believe like squashed anything, but he definitely put his foot down and said that he's not going to participate any further. And I think that's super important, because you want to be able to dead stuff that control the things that you can control. And he knew that he would be able to dead his part. I'm not gonna, I didn't like this. I'm not doing it. I'm taking the song down. So like, like that song was getting spins. Everybody was streaming it. People, bought the song or whatever. And I know that If you just download it, you download it, but then it could go away. But if you, excuse me, but if you bought it, it's yours, and they can't take that back. Ideally, right? So I know that people probably went out and bought that before he pulled it. So like, there's money that was tied to this, and he's willing to, cut out some of this money in order to like further show that he's standing on business. And I think that is something that I was like immensely proud of. And you can't really say that in so many spaces, because that's not hip hop. That's not what this is about. Um, and truth be told, like how much different could things have been in any of this rap stuff and in the history books if somebody was able to back down and say, man, that's not really what I wanted. It was able to do it on a platform like that, right? And I don't think that the machines are working in a way that I don't think that this would have gone left like that, where we'd have to got Drake on a T-shirt and RIP everywhere for somebody else. I don't think it would have been anything like that. I think hip hop learned its lesson, um, but I don't think that it wouldn't have gone that far. I don't think anybody's career is going to be ruined. But for him to, get up there and stop this money train, for the sake of ethics and for the sake of morals, that's a stand up dude, man. That's a stand up dude, uh, and rapper's gonna be what it's gonna be. He gonna make some more songs. That Fall Off album gonna come out. I think this is gonna be pretty decent on the rollout for that. Right, you could do some promo about him apologizing. That's him falling off, and then boom, here come the album. Um, but as a man, as a father, that matters. Oh, that matters. Because it's like his kids gonna see that. His kids gonna see that. He's teaching his kids how to apologize. He's teaching his kids how to take accountability. He's teaching his kids how to be responsible for other people, or you know watching what you say or being mindful about what you say, the people you keep around you, about peer pressure, um, about guilt, about shame. And I think he experienced all of this between writing it, releasing it, being at the concert, however many sleepless nights he said he had. I think that these are all lessons wrapped up, and if we pay attention, and we're able to really digest what's going on outside of like the music, that's a man that's growing. Um, he's clearly experienced like a good amount of growth up to this point. He's lived, what, 36, 37, some odd years or whatever. So like he's been around to do a lot of growing. And I think that, we don't give black men, we didn't give J. Cole enough credit on his own for doing that. Um, but I don't think we give black men enough credit in that regard either. If you are working and you are healing or trying to heal, um, and you get to a space where you do something that's like, this is not what we expected, but it's in a positive way, you got to give that man credit. You have to give that man credit. So, proverbial hats off to J. Cole for, standing 10 toes down, facing your fears, because I'm sure that had to be scary. Um, and apologizing, taking ownership of your feelings, taking ownership of your part in a situation, um, taking ownership of everything that he could surrounding that. And like I said, I think that's super important. I think that's really, really powerful. Um, so shout out to you, man. I hope you hear this. So um, that's all I have for today. I'll be back soon. Uh, we have Chef Dom. Dom is coming back. Dom has a cookbook. That was a gift from a family friend. We're gonna be diving into that cookbook. We're gonna make a little small meals. They're not. It's nothing crazy, but we're gonna make some really cool stuff. Dom also wants to be a content creator, y'all. Like he's in it. He was seeing these little people on YouTube. A couple of these other kids got like their own TV shows and stuff like that. Dom wants to do that, and y'all, guess what? I'm gonna figure it out. Um, because I think it's one of the cooler things about being a dad, and just a parent in general. It's like your kids are going to show interest in things. Um, and I want to be able to explore that with them. So the funny thing is, I'm saying Dom's going to be coming back and doing more cooking, but truth be told, Dom is not really wanting to cook with me in a minute. I made some burgers the other day, and I said, "You want to cook with me?" No. All right, bet. So I don't really know. Honestly, I don't know the next time we're gonna cook. I don't want to make him cook if he don't really want to cook, but I want him to do things that interest him. And as long as he's finding things that's going to interest him, I'm going to explore it. So right now, he wants to be some sort of content creator. Don wants his own podcast. Don wants us to stream and record him playing Super Mario or us playing Super Mario together. So look out for some of that, I guess. Um, but Don is on the move. His little brain is moving. It's tinkering. Is The wheels are spinning, and I'm not only just trying to keep up, but I'm also trying to like dive in. Like, what can we do? All right, let me find this cool little science experiment that only takes 5 minutes. Does that work? Bet. Let's do it. So that's where we are. I'm trying to figure this out. We gonna make it work. That's what we got, right? I have a project that I'm working on. I'm almost done with it. I want to roll it out for the late summer, early fall. That's kind of like my timetable for that right now. More information on the way. I just want to keep talking about it because I want y'all to be looking out for it. It's for dads. It's exclusively for dads. But we'll see what happens. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna post a link to the devotional um, in the description for anybody that wants to join in on it um, and wants to, kind of share their experience or share their journey with this devotional. Um, I think it's called Tony Evans Kingdom Man or something of the sort. Um, but the link for it is going to be in the description. So I want you to be able to just to see that. Click on it and grab your copy. It's not expensive at all. So I want you to be able to do that. Um, Anything I use, I don't have much for my setup, but I'm going to start sharing all of these things that I'm using. So that if you are interested in this in any way, shape, or form, you can of course grab it yourself. Um, Yeah. So I'm gonna start sharing. I'm gonna start having more specific or targeted posts and things like that for y'all to see on all platforms. Right now, I mainly use Instagram um, almost exclusively, but I'm gonna start. You know, I'm gonna be back on Facebook. I'm going to be using my Twitter for good. I'm gonna be tweeting positive things and dad things and getting information out. Um, Same thing with TikTok, and you'll start to see, other forms of content that I've created or that Dom has tried to create. It's going to be a lot. So you're going to see a really big influx of stuff like that. But yes, please tell me what you think. Give me your tips on how to get your kid to ride a bike. Tell me your dreams and what has kept you from pursuing them. Um, any other comments, please let me know. If you're interested in coming on the podcast, please email me, themadblackdad at gmail.com. Um, I'm ready to collab. I'm ready to make some really good content, and I'm ready to talk to all these other dads about their experiences. Um, so that's where I'm at. I hope to talk to y'all soon, and I'll see y'all around. Stay mad.
Bad, not black, bad, not bad, not black, bad, not black, black, not black, bad, black, not bad, black, not black, bad, black, not mad, black, mad, dad, mad, black, mad, dad, mad, black, mad, dad, mad, black, mad, dad. Bad.